Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome once again to another Crypto Maniacs podcast. For your viewing and listening pleasure, I'm John Go with the partner in epicness, Taskmaster 4450. Hello, sir. Happy Thursday.
Epic. Epic to me means old.
No, ancient or something. Epic? No, really? No.
Well, I
Epic.
mean,
Epic's
stuff
good.
that's epic. Well, being old's good too. It means you were able to stick around a while. But yeah, how am I doing? I'm just up to my eyeballs in Leo glossary as usual. But oh well.
Dude, we have some new toys today. So we
Yes,
gave it a test run on Tuesday, and we are now using StreamYard to do the podcast live stream, and it will record it. And I'm crossing fingers that I can actually download the videos, because for the past month now, we've had to put the replays of these up on YouTube. And no offense to YouTube, but we like practicing what we preach when it comes to this Web3 stuff. So I like putting stuff on 3Speak, but I haven't been able to because I can't get the file to download, because the previous service we used kept saying that it was my fault, and it was, but for 2 years we were downloading with no problem, but all of a sudden it's me. I guess it's me. But so we're here on StreamYard. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and it's just as epic as we got a like. We got a like. Oh, can you see that up top on the left there? The little love things up top? No? Viewers?
I see. No, just on the left, live, 2 minutes and counting.
That's it? That's all you see?
I don't see any.
Well, we got a heart.
Oh, somebody around here does at least.
There you go. Anyways. So you're busy on Leo Glossary. This is like taking up the bulk of your day, isn't it?
It's taking up everything. I have you try putting up 25 posts a day, plus what I usually do, 2 videos and two other posts. I mean, it's mammoth. I'm going to need more help, a lot more help. But for right now, I got Wealth West is working on. He does the albums. I do most of the movies. Iska sends about 5 movies a day over, so she's helping. Nice. She or he, I think she's a she, helping out. And then Ken DeWitt is now working on a little bit of back end stuff, trying to scrape stuff for the actor and actress pages, so we don't have to manually try to do the video, the movies they've done. Typing all that in would be a nightmare, and trying to just copy paste it. You spend half your day trying to align it. So if he can figure out how to scrape that and get the raw data and then format it so it like just feeds in, that'll help. But it gets to the point where going into the films, I have to do so many pages to support the films. I have to do the different genres, and I have to do Hollywood and movie studios, and the name of the movie studios, because this is Leo Glossary, so the terms are linked all throughout these pages, and that's one of the main premises, is to keep linking all this stuff together and keep building these, I guess, if you want to call it this, modules. So ultimately we can start building a major wiki, get information on the blockchain, at least the text, and then keep moving into ultimately I want to get it into a Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb type situation with the movies, get decentralized polling on there once they get that rolling out. And also I probably got 150 movies you can watch right now from the Leo Finance interface. You go in there, it's an embedded YouTube movie, but it's a full movie, and you just go to the page and press play, watch the movie, obviously click the pop-up to fill the window on your laptop or whatever, and you can watch the film right there. So, it gets into watch the film. There's a review, there's the trailer. Hopefully, soon there will be decentralized voting. You can write a review or a comment down below because these are all just blog pages. So it really does bring a lot of things together. And just for your ears only, and whoever's paying attention listening to this podcast,
Mm.
uh, another idea I had is when shorts come in, we can have people, because the shorts, if it works with threads, it has to work with comments because that's what a thread is. People can put shorts in the comment section of the movie. So you could do a 45-second or 1 minute review of, you know, whatever movie, Die Hard. This was a great movie. Bruce at his prime, blah, 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 and, post a short. So these are a lot of things we can start to bring to the table that you don't see with these other sites out there because, Wikipedia just has the information. Same with IMDb, although there is voting on IMDb, I think, but they're certainly voting on Rotten Tomatoes. But,
Yeah.
all these are owned companies. They own the data. There's a political agenda. There's this agenda. Who knows what's going on? So with this stuff, it's on the blockchain. So I'm going to work on getting, 1,000 movies and then put out the SOS call for other people to get involved. But, once there's a little beef and a little momentum, hopefully people see it and say, holy crap, there's a lot going on here.
Nice. Yeah, it's we mentioned this on Tuesday, and you and I have spoken about it before, but action attracts action, and like it's like a magnet. People start seeing things happening, they want to be a part of it. So the more stuff that's happening, the better.
Yeah, I think this is a great value add to Hive and to Leo Finance because or to Leo, excuse me, because it's something people can use. It's something that
Right.
is there, and it's hard to find the info right now, but there's a couple things in the works. One is somebody's kind of working on a site out of Cuba that pulls the movies from the movie community, and basically is using that as a front end to link in. So you click on a film and it takes you right to the page. Hopefully, I'm just my goal is to get this big enough where then I can strong arm Cal and say, listen, you got to build this into the UI. I mean, we got, I don't know, let's say if there's 1,500 pages there of different films to review, and there's 1,500 polls going. I mean, you want this in the UI.
Yeah.
So
ready to dive into people's questions?
Yep.
Let's get into it. Please hold, folks. I'm still getting used to this, but I've changed the colors. Hopefully you guys... let me see. Is that better? Or no, that's not good. This one or that one? I like this one. Hi, Eliana. Welcome. Cool. If you guys are new to the podcast, this is what we do every time we go live. We really want to live, breathe, and die this Web3 stuff, and that means that we are part of the community. We are living, breathing human beings. we are not AI. I don't know about Task. I'm not though. We get questions from the audience and answer them each and every day. We think that this adds a lot of value. We give our opinions on things, and generally it's a good old time. So if you want to take part in these discussions, please do head over to inleo.io and look for the Threadcast, and you can follow at Taskmaster4450LE, and he posts these Threadcasts where you guys can take part, engage with us, ask questions, and have a good old time. So that's the shameless self-promotion for the Threadcast. You like that, Task? Was that okay? Was it a little slimy, or was it okay?
No, you did great. You didn't sound like a politician whatsoever. I didn't think you were running for office. You did wonderful.
Perfect. Beautiful.
By the way, okay, if we want to do a little, well, forget it. I won't say anything. You just
I think that's one of the questions. Actually, we'll get to it.
I
Don't
do
worry.
too. So
Yeah,
anyway, you lead the charge.
yeah, for sure. Nifty, our good friend Nifty, he wants to know if the streaming service would work in conjunction with Spaces. There isn't a way now. Now this is streaming on my Twitter account, but it's not a Spaces. It's literally just going to my Twitter. So if you go to my Twitter account, so eventually what I want to do is I want to link it. To different. Basically, I don't want this to be the John Olson brand. I want it to be the Crypto Maniacs brand, Town Hall brand. That's what I'm trying to do. So eventually, we're going to get. This is just placeholders right now. So I've been playing with stuff nifty, but all I can see right now is that it goes to your Twitter account. I don't think it sets up Spaces yet, but I
No,
think
I wouldn't think it would because Spaces is completely separate service from
right,
this. You're not, you don't stream into Spaces.
right, yeah. Yeah, and speaking of streaming, Nifty and Tokenized both asked about Vim. So Vim announced yesterday they revealed what happened yesterday, and basically they got a denial of service attack, some type of crazy denial of service attack, racked up their server bill, their Amazon Web Service bill for like 50 grand.
Wow.
Speak Network fixes this. Just saying. Um,
Hmm.
so they are, like, you got to remember, and we've had DDR Freak on the show before, and I've known Chiren and DDR Freak now for years, and these are guys that just love streaming. They've been streaming their games since day one. They just didn't want to do the Twitch thing, and when D Live kind of pulled the plug, literally rug pulled from the community a couple of years ago, they filled a void. And but they're a small operation, man. There's literally two guys. It's a marketing guy, community guy, and then the developer, and that's it. They never really got any big, proposals funded. They never got big delegations. For whatever reason, they existed. They continued to produce amazing streaming services for the blockchain, but for whatever reason, they never really got the support of the big boys on chain. So they're a small operation, and getting a $50,000 bill in the mail, you know, when they're
I
used to
don't give a
being,
shit how big you are. You get 50K bill unexpected. That's
that
going to make the
sucks.
heart skip, and not in
Yeah,
a good way.
yeah, exactly. So they outlined the plan where they're going to switch web hosts and stuff, but they were looking for a proposal. They're starting a proposal for 2 months. I think it was like $500 a month or something, like, nothing, peanuts, to do this. So they're still offline, but apparently they're trying to get back um, to the to being online and offering the service. And Tokenized, actually, he says that's a great follow-up question. Vim mentioned on their post that they are looking for decentralized or infrastructure. Can't Speak Network help? They're not there yet, I don't
Yeah,
think.
I think that's probably going to be many solutions, but I
Right.
don't even think, I don't know. Do they have even a test net running yet?
I don't think so. But that would, Speak Network would solve that, because then you don't need your $500 a month Amazon Web Services bill.
Yeah.
So that solves Speak Network solves that in a heartbeat. Just needs to get out there. And like you said, I don't think there's a test net either for it. But so I really do hope Vim figures it out. Obviously, I'll vote for them because I want to see them get back up. I hate not being able to stream on chain right now. So that's all the update I know of. I don't know if you heard anything else, Task, or no.
No, I don't. That's why I do this week in Hive, because there's a lot of stuff I don't know, and
Right.
these are the things to bring up on this week in Hive, because
Mm.
it's important for the community to know.
There you go. Forex Broker says, "Good morning, you bunch of maniacs. Good morning to you across in the nether regions of Australia, sir. Well, it's Friday there, right? He's always a day
Yeah,
ahead of
they're
us.
at yeah. He's in the Friday.
Jeez, what an epic gentleman." Tokenized says, "What do you guys think will be the first big thing that the VSC proposal will enable if it gets funded?
Oh, I don't know. I talked to uh, Voltec was on This Week in Hive last Friday, and he showed up, and basically his timeline is about a year. He said hopefully a lot of it will come together before then, but to be on the safe side, a year will have the functionality and the features that he's talked about. So I don't, again, it's the first thing you're going to see is a test net, and
Right. Mm.
a mirroring of what potentially is going to be taking place in the real world. I can't even tell you what his roadmap is to get feature A, feature B, feature C out. I honestly have no idea. I think it's one of those where he's going to use the funding to bring on a couple developers and then obviously let them go in the directions they need to go in.
Mm.
And so, that's one thing I've learned from watching these developers. It gets very haphazard because that's just the nature of the beast. And it's like you do one thing and then it's like you go down a totally different path because, there's other fires or other things broke. And so it's
Yeah.
just a constant, you know, game of going in circles trying to advance things forward. So I don't know. I would think that he would be working on the BS the Bitcoin wrap Bitcoin seems to be a priority. So I think that's one of the first things you'll see maybe on testnet. Will that be one of the first things live? I don't know.
Mm.
They're developing a complete node system. In fact, I guess we could say it looks like it's going through. Hell, we sent the money over, Django, but it looks like Town Hall is setting up a witness server for VSC.
Mm.
Now, Nifty is taking it upon himself to. We went and got another server, and I guess he's putting on whatever software Vaultec and him got together. And I don't even know what a VSC server does, but we're providing some infrastructure for VSC too. So
Yeah.
that's part of the the priorities for town hall. So don't know what the next thing is tokenized, but we're going to be running a witness server or
Aloha Ed actually said he listened into the VSC 3Speak meeting today. One of the things he heard being pushed out was a storage node that can run on a relatively low end Windows system. So
okay.
that's for us Mac people sucks, but everyone loves Windows for whatever reason, even though it's hacked every day of the week. But anyways, I get it. That's where all the cool kids play. No one likes Mac anymore. Remember when Apple used to be like a tastemaker's brand? Remember that? Do you remember
Well,
that,
it had to
Thomas?
be because it was like $3,000 for a laptop.
Well, even yeah, it still is. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
that's true.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, anyways, we shall move right along. This question is actually directed to the audience. Have you voted for the town hall witness yet? See, there you go. That's what I was getting at, Task. Like, we don't even have to do this now. Like, we don't have to be the slime ball salesman. We can just let Tokenize be the slime ball salesman. How about that?
Well, I mean, I don't look at it that way because, quite frankly, I think we're doing a lot. When I say we, the town hall community, the four of us are doing a lot to keep putting things forward. And as I've said, this is about education, this is about communication, this is about infrastructure. And I just mentioned we're going with a VSC node. Um, so that'll be two nodes that we have running. That's helping out with infrastructure. And yes, we're all ecstatic and very happy and thankful for all the support we've gotten. But in 5 days, there's the second town hall forum that credit to a nomad soul. He's the one who basically spearheads that. So he's driving that. Um, and then there's another thing that is being put in place, which I won't reveal, but Django and Nomad Soul have been working on that. And I just work on Leo Glossary. But see, again, it looks like, well, Task isn't really doing anything. Part of what I'm doing with Leo Glossary is with the education, there's a Hive Glossary and there's a Leo still a Leo Finance page. I got to update it all,
Mm,
but there's pages for Three Speak. There's pages for Peak D. There's pages. So there's pages for resource credits, and so I got to go in, and I'm going to go in over the next month and really update these pages, expand them, and then that information will be available to incorporate into some of these other things that Django and the Nomad Soul are producing, so that people have the opportunity to learn. What is a threadcast? What is a thread storm? What are resource credits? What is high power? What is resource credit delegation? What is
right.
curation? What is a witness? What are these proposals? What the hell's the DHF? What is all this stuff that people talk about that to the newcomer is Greek? Well, if all of a
Yeah.
sudden, Tokenize hears somebody saying that or sees a thread where somebody asks that question, Tokenize can go right to the Leo glossary page, grab the URL and drop it right in the comment to the thread and say, here's your answer. Um, that's part of what we want as a repository of information. And Leo glossary to a small degree had it. I got to expand it out a great deal. But
Yeah.
this is what the town hall initiative is about: is filling in these cracks that take place you know between the applications, addressing and taking care of stuff that's overlooked because it's not application related. And as I said the other day, the Speak guys are working on Speak. Cal and his team's working on Leo. Peak D's working on Peak D. Block Trades is working and Hou and those people are working on the core layer. Ecency's working on Ecency. Uh, who's working on governance? Who's handling all this stuff? And that's where the town hall steps in and says, okay, we are application and project and game agnostic in the sense of we're here to talk about Hive. And I
Mm.
feel even though it's not directly part of it, this week in Hive is a part of that. It's a fill in between the monthly town hall meetings that people can come into spaces and share what's going on with Hive and ask questions and get answers.
You mentioned agnostic about the apps. We're pro Hive, and I think this is a really good example of that. Tokenize says what apps and projects will be present at the next town hall meeting. Basically, all of them. Pretty much. I mean, you know, Eric, I think, has put the invite out to pretty much everyone, and I mean, you're talking D-Buzz, Three Speak, Ecency,
Mhm.
Peak D, Like Two,
Mhm.
ActiveFit. Like, I mean, it's the who's who of all the apps on Leo, obviously. Um, so I guess the only one who's not there, as far as I know, is Splinterlands. But Splinterlands kind of does their own thing. They're a behemoth. They got their own community. They're focused on. So um, yeah, it's everyone. Pretty close. I mean, obviously not everyone, but you know what I mean. Like it's yeah. So it's exciting. It's very exciting. So Ed says I have a strong affinity into the Leo team since I interact with them more, but I use all the front ends one time or another. Yeah, same with me. I mean, I'm. This is the thing. This is why I think Leo is positioned, and why Nifty, Eric, Task, and myself kind of came together with Town Hall, because Leo breeds community. It really is. At like this is remember when Leo was getting the rebrand. This is what you used to say, Task. I don't care what it's called. I don't. You could call it poopy site. Well, maybe not that, but you know what I mean. Didn't matter. You were worried about the people behind it. who was using it, the daily activity. That's what
Well,
mattered.
and what are you doing? I mean, you can call it whatever you want, but if you don't do, I mean,
Right.
a brand is more than a name. I mean, you know that as well as anybody, especially online. I mean, you throw out a name and it's like, oh, that's a great name. It's wonderful. Yeah, I got the greatest name in the world.com, but your page is blank. You know, it's like, well, what are you doing? It's
Yep.
I write the best content on Hive. Okay, what are you doing to market yourself? How,
Right.
well,
Exactly.
nobody votes me. Well, what are you doing to market yourself? Are you doing spaces for the community? Are you engaging with people? Do you go to other people's blogs and comment? Do you get on threads? Do you engage with Hivians on Twitter? Do you go on and make yourself accessible to other people's shows? Do you spend 14 hours a day, 15 hours a day on this fucking blockchain like I do? It's
I
okay.
could, if I could, I would, man.
Yeah, I'm a little neurotic, but the point is, it's just baffling, and we've talked about it for going on 3 years now.
Yeah.
People will sit there and say, "I'm building on my Twitter, try getting 20 million clicks, so I can like maybe get some money from Elon, or I'm trying to get to my 15,000 hours on YouTube."
YouTube. Yeah.
And
Right.
I've been at it for 3 years, but they show up to Hive, and it's like, I wrote two posts and I didn't make $1,000. What's wrong? This place sucks. It's
Yeah.
a scam. Hey, what the hell? And it's
Yeah.
like you got to build the brand, whether you're an individual, whether you're an application, whether you're a game, and building a brand is more than just a name. It's more
No,
than just
couldn't agree
Taskmaster.
more.
It's more than just Django. It's more than Leo. It's more than Ecency. Those are names, fine. They can convey something, but what the hell do they convey? That's what you have to build with your brand, is what people think. I mean, let's be honest. When you think of Rolls Royce and McDonald's, both those brands convey two totally different images and different styles. That's on
Mm-hmm.
purpose.
Well, it's we and I love this talk because this is right up my alley, man. Like this is I've read books on this, and it's a passion of mine, branding. And there's more to it, just like you said. There's a feeling. There's a feeling people get when it comes with their interaction when they see a brand. This is why, not now, but I was in love with the Apple brand. I loved the way that Steve Jobs promoted it. I loved the concept of iPad and iPhone. I loved the Mac environment, but there was a feeling I got from using the products. Now, I'm just using the example. People have a feeling when they put on a Nike shoe. It's not just, oh, it looks good. There's a feeling. So what's the feeling you're conveying to people? Is it like, oh my gosh, this is the most annoying thing in the world, I'm frustrated, rage quit? Or it's like, no, this is something that's being developed. There's a strong community. People are valued here. And that's what I hope Hive brings to the table. We get the different apps together, and they're conveying that feeling of belonging and community, and you matter here. That's what I think will take Hive to another level, when people actually feel valued. And you feel valued with certain brands. Some you don't, some you do. Anyways, that's my
Well,
speech
I'll
and
give you a
brand.
prime example,
Hi, John.
and I don't really care what side of the equation you're on with this, but Bud Light gave a feeling exactly like you were saying, Django. And Bud Light decided to run a can, and I think they ran about six of them. So it's not like they did a huge promotion with this, but they put out a can with Dylan McVaney, and that set off a firestorm and had videos of people like Kid Rock, who again conveys an image, conveys that you get a feeling when you hear the name Kid Rock. Kid Rock sitting out there with whatever Kid Rock was wearing, some type of flannel sleeveless shirt or something, and blue jeans, and he pulls out his rifle and starts shooting Bud Light cans. And this is the video that goes viral. Now
Yeah.
suddenly the imagery around that brand shifted completely because of people like Kid Rock. And that's really how precarious this is, because you look at Bud Light, Budweiser. I mean, that's a brand that's been around forever, and they went from the Clydesdales and the Clydesdales pulling the thing and the Christmas bells and all that to Kid Rock shooting their product on video and posting it on YouTube. This is where you have to be very careful. And the name Bud Light, the name Budweiser hasn't changed, but a lot of other things have
The
around it.
feeling, the feeling
Yeah,
has changed, right?
yeah, and Apple is the same thing. Apple used to be, with Steve Jobs. Apple was an innovative company.
Yes.
Apple
Yes.
no longer is an innovator
Thank
under
you.
Tim Cook. But
Yes.
that's not that they're not successful. Tim Cook's done a masterful job steering that organization. But if you are looking for innovation, you don't look to Apple.
Right.
You look elsewhere, because Apple's no longer the innovator, because that engine died when Steve Jobs got sick.
True.
So, this is how brands can change over time and evolve. Sometimes it's on purpose, and the branding people and it's conscious. Other times it's just evolution and accidental. And Apple is not sorry how the brand's evolving, I'm sure, because they're still making a boatload of money. They're one of the most valued companies in the world by market cap, and they do sensational. But if you want to be known as an innovator, Apple missed the boat on that.
Yeah, it's Nifty just said Apple has done no innovating since Job left. Yeah, it's true. It's like, think about it. Like, we have a new camera. Like, that's what they talk about with the new phones. Like, anyways.
Well, and even, I mean, you think about it, they were revolutionary especially among graphic artists with their computer products, and for almost 3 decades they were a niche computer company.
Right.
Then they brought out the iPod, changed music. Then they brought out the iPhone, changed everything. Then they even brought out the iPad, which, okay, you could say wasn't quite as successful, but they did open up a completely new market. Yeah. The iWatch, the wearables, that hasn't taken off. But, now it's just tinkering. It's like, okay, we got VR capability, maybe. We're not quite sure. Okay, that's pretty cool, but it's not a revolutionary product like they were known for.
Yep. Anderson wants to know, what is the most common critic you have seen people have had on the premium being launched in Leo? I mean, I don't know, Task. I haven't seen people go, "Oh, this is crap." Like, I haven't seen anything like that. I mean, price point is probably the biggest, stumbling block for a lot of people that want to get in on it. We talked about this on Tuesday. You take someone, you give them $10. Are they going to go buy food? Or are they going to buy Leo Premium?
Yeah, I think part of it is the fact that it's still not on the production side; it's still on labs. So,
no, it got pushed. It got pushed.
Oh, did it get pushed?
Yeah, we're on Leo right now. This is Leo, and you can see tokenize. It's premiums on.
I can't read that shit. You know that. I got old eyes with my old.
No, Cal talked. I think about an hour ago he said it launched. It's in production.
Well, up till an hour ago it was only on labs. Right. So, yeah. I mean, at this point, I think I did find out, to give everybody an FYI. I mean, I didn't find out. Cal put a thread, so if you read his thread, but he said at that point, and I presume they've gotten it in the last, 3 hours or whatever, 4 hours, but they were one premium membership away from the smart contract kicking off. Evidently, at $500, the smart contract, every increment of $500 is going to go buy $250 of Hive, $250 of Leo, and then execute and put it in the liquidity pool. So, nice. It's going to be something that has to grow over time. I think the priority, if it was me in Cal's shoes, the priority is to keep adding features to it, keep building value for Leo Premium, and that's what I would focus on.
Yep. Agreed. I heard that Cal was a bit disappointed with the ad revenue compared to what the potential is here. Do you think we will, the ad market that he is planning on building, do you think we will have, I think, the ad market that he was planning on building in Leo? Well, he said on the AMA he figured it's where it would be at. He didn't sound thrilled, but I don't think he was like disappointed. He might have sounded maybe a little ho hum about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's three things with the ad revenue. First off, it's been glitchy as hell. So,
Right.
half the time Coinzilla is empty. So there's number one. And they've been messing around with it. So that's issue number one. Number two, as he mentioned on the AMA, you do have regional blocking. You have regionalization. So a lot of areas aren't going to see some of the ads, and that could be a good thing in some circumstances. But the problem with going with the crypto ads is you get your ass blocked in a lot of areas.
Right.
So that's problem number two. I think ultimately to be successful, you need, obviously we need a lot more people. I mean, we don't have the tremendous users. We need to get to
Yeah.
10 or 20,000 daily users to have any significant impact there. But ultimately, you have to build your own ad platform. You have
Yeah.
to be able to cater to people and to say, okay, you have this exchange that you built, you have this game that you built, you have this that you built, come advertise with us. And then, they pay $500 a month, or they pay X amount for a week, or whatever, however you structure it, as opposed to, I don't know if I'm using the right term, John, but basically these ads are pretty much your affiliate marketing. I mean, you put an ad in you get paid if
Yeah.
somebody clicks through.
Yeah.
That's a lot different than, hey, pay me for the space on my site. And that's effectively what, when you set up your own ad network or your own ad platform, if somebody puts an ad in the bottom right there, that space that Leo owns that they are renting out.
Well, it's also like, and this is, I'm not going to, hopefully this doesn't sound too cocky, but I like to think that Hivians are a little bit wiser than your average crypto user. For example, look at the ads that are served usually by Coinzilla. Crypto slots, some stupid gambling, get rich with crypto thing. Most Hive people, not all, but most Hive people are wise to this stuff. So you're not going to get these major click through numbers that you would on, say, Binance, because Binance is filled with Tanantanas. It's filled with the Green Candle Boys, the crypto bros. That's who it's filled with. Those ads cater to that audience. So that's a marketing thing too, where problems are solved with more numbers, more people. All problems are solved with more users. So I agree. I think that's, you're going to have that. You're going to have low click through. You're going to have problems serving these ads because generally, I don't know, Task. I mean, are you going to go gamble away your crypto on crypto slots?
No.
So it's, yeah, I get it. But anyways, is this the start of the next bull market? Is Hive ready to explode, or do we still lack some infrastructure to become more popular? Bull Run, I have no idea. What's that? Smart contract? Yeah, smart contracts are the killer app on Hive that need to be there in place.
Yeah, we need smart contracts before we're ready for prime time. I mean, the market can do whatever the hell the market does. I've said that all along. I have no idea if the price Hive will go to $1 or 50 cents or to 17 cents. But to be the ecosystem that I envision, we need smart contracts. That's crucial.
Agreed. Completely agreed. I also, Andersino says, is this the first time all front ends will be on a show at the same time? It's going to be an amazing show. You've really found a good niche for Town Hall.
Pretty much, I would say. Yeah. I mean, we've had, Django just mentioned a bunch of the names, and we've had a lot of them on this show over the years, but never together. It's always
Yeah.
one at a time or two at a time from the
Dude,
same project.
you know when this happened before? I can tell you because I was there for it. It happened in Krakow, Poland at Steamfest 3. Nathan Mars went to every single app creator that was there, and we all went to the D Daily Mansion. That was the place where all the D Daily guys rented out. It was an Airbnb. There was probably about 50 of us all sitting there, and it was a town hall. It was beautiful. It was absolute, like, if you would have seen it, dude. That's what I envision this meeting's going to be on November 1st. It's just people that at the end of the day want to see Hive do big things. That's it. That's it. That every single person in that room in Poland wanted to see the blockchain. Well,
Well,
they wanted to see it.
if you have the app developers, if you have the app team leaders or the app people there, this is the creme de la creme for a simple reason. They're people who are doing shit. These are people who are not talking, they're not whining, they're building shit. These are your builders. Whether they're developers or not. I mean, Cal's not a developer really, but he's building. Um, you know, you get Jarvie. I don't think Jarvie's much of a tech guy, but he
He's building
is part of
PT.
PT that's
Yeah,
building. Dan and Starkers aren't developers, but they're building. So yeah, I mean that's where you get the creme de la creme, and a lot of them do have technical capabilities. I don't know if Vaultec will be on there. That's not an app, that's a infrastructure, but um, I'm sure Brian of London will sneak on there. He usually does. So but he's developing an app. I mean, it's V for V is an app, I guess you could say. So I think it's these are the people that everybody on Hive should model, using the idea that if you got a Hive account, you're a business, and just figure out a niche and just start.
yep. I listened to a podcast talking about the biggest problems with Bitcoin, which can make it fail, and thought that was an interesting idea. Can you talk about what are the things that can make Hive fail?
Uh,
Um,
Hive won't fail because it's a decentralized database, a decentralized text database, and as long as people are running the infrastructure, you'll still have it.
yep.
Hive is not going out and promoting itself like Bitcoin, where it's going to be the new money. It's going to be all of this. Hive doesn't promote itself like that. I promote Hive like that, but I'm a little bit over the top about everything. Um, but Hive doesn't promote itself like that. Um, Hive is going to keep building, and even if we don't add anything, Hive already has a niche. Okay, it's a very small niche, but Hive doesn't have to add anything else to be a success over the next 10 years. Now, in many people's eyes, it'll be a failure because the token would crash, wouldn't go anywhere. But from a performance and a technology and an application standpoint, we have usability, we have utility, we have things that people can do. As we said earlier, I mean, if Vaultec is not successful with the smart contract, that's going to be a major setback. I have all the confidence in the world he will be. And I think that will put Hive from a capability standpoint, not a market cap, not a token price, but that'll put Hive on a capability standpoint with the EVMs, with Ethereum and the other EVMs. Because we have everything they can do, we can do, but we can do better. We have the Hive account management system, which is a username that you set up. It's not a string of characters. We have our smart contracts. Grant they're on layer 2, but many people feel layer 2 is the proper place for it. We have our base layer stablecoin, that I think and some other people are saying is really the Trojan horse, where we can get into places and we can do things others cannot. I mean, think about that. You got the Tether Foundation and Circle behind USDC and Tether. And what they have to do is they do their stuff. They need other people outside to embrace it. Hive, HBD is the stable coin for the ecosystem. So anything the ecosystem does, it's only in everybody's best interest to incorporate HBD. So it's a much different premise. So I don't think, of course, failure is a relative term. Um, Many people will say it's a failure if Hive doesn't reach $25. Well, we can't say that Hive will reach $25, but I believe it will, because based upon how the tokenomics and how things are set up, and the fact that Hive is an access token in addition to governance and a lot of other things. And then you have the correlation HBD. And if HBD starts taking off, guess what? We're going to need a whole lot more HBD. How do you get that? You take Hive and somebody converts it over. So it all keeps feeding into the same thing. And, um, I think there's no going backwards. It's either, we stagnate, which I guess you could say is a failure, or we keep evolving, growing, and expanding. And, you have people like High Borehole and McSam. You have the people in Venezuela like Edmundo and Sunseeker, Jon Snow. You have people in Cuba. You have people in these different areas who are really just pushing on a daily basis. Then you get into the virtual world, and you got a Nomad Soul with Leo pushing ahead. You got Ecency pushing ahead. You got D-Buzz pushing ahead. Then you have games and stuff like that. And I don't know what Bob the Builder and the people over at CyberX are doing, but they have their project. So all of this compounds.
Beautiful thing. Absolutely love it, because Hive is amazing. How much will be needed to add to the liquidity pool as permanent liquidity before we can see some effects it will have on the Hive economy?
Oh, if nobody wants a token, $500 will be more than enough. I mean, liquidity pools are important when people want them, when people need them. And so, as an exit standpoint, I think, you probably need 50 grand at a minimum of each coin. So probably 100 grand total before you have a minimum viable level of liquidity that people can do anything with. Because 50 grand, if somebody's moving 5 grand, that's still a healthy chunk of the overall. So I think really 250 is probably where you start to say, oh, okay, this is some serious cheese. Now people can move in and out fairly easily.
Yep.
So
How
that's
many do you think?
$10 premiums.
Well, there you go. That's literally what the next question is. How many do you think will join premium before the end of the year?
Oh, I don't know. The thing about Leo is most of your Leo people, from what I can perceive, are exactly what Django mentioned earlier. That 10 HBD is a stretch, and I think there's a lot of Nigerians on Threads, which is wonderful. There's Venezuelans on Threads, which is wonderful. The Cubans are on Threads, which is wonderful. Um, they're not premium buyers. That's not going to be your premium buyer. So the premium membership has to be catered to those in the developed world for the most part. And to do that, you're going to have to build out. In my opinion, you're going to have to build out the features to really make it appealing. And then at the same time, your outreach is going to have to bring in the right type of people.
Forex broker brings this up. I think this is interesting. When the smart contract makes its Leo buy, it will choose the cheapest place, which is usually the B Leo and Wrap Leo liquidity pool. Is there a way to put it in the community's face that these buys are actually being made? Right now, they just get lost. That'd be interesting. If that was not just Cal just saying, hey, we did it, but if there was like a visual representation of that. I think that's what Forex is talking about, but I would love to see that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The only thing I think the only thing that's required is just get the contract address. Once you have the contract address, you can see the wallets that are used and what takes place. So I'm sure it wouldn't be hard to ask Cal, to keep hammering Cal to
Mm.
put the contract out there. And once you have that, then you can go to
Oh,
what is it called? Not BS scan or BSC scan or whatever it is. Enter the contract number, and then you'll be able to follow the wallet chain and find out, and also to go one step further, not only to see the buy, but also to see the sending of the LP tokens to null or whatever the BSC version of null is, because that's the idea is you take those liquidity tokens, the LPs, and you send them away. So it's all on Binance. We should be able to find it. The only thing I think we need is just the contract address.
smart contract. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Aloha,
I could
Ed.
be mistaken. I'm not a BSC expert, but I think once you have that, you can just follow the different wallets and you see all the transactions.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of smart contract addresses. Just give me my Hive account management system, please and thank you. Aloha, Ed has some parting words for us for this show. He's still prepping for the only Leo fans. He's getting a pedicure and cutting the carbs to get that lean look for the ladies. He'll be stacking Leo like a bandit.
Oh, I'm going to blame Nifty on this one.
Dude,
I'm not
he's
taking
ruined
credit.
it
I'm
for us
not
all.
taking credit. I'm going to defer on this one. I'm gonna put that on Nifty's lap and lay it on him. And I don't even know. It was probably me who was the first one to bring feet up. I don't even know, but I think Nifty may have beat me to it.
Blame
I don't
Nifty.
even know.
Yeah.
And Nifty, if he was smart, he would defer and blame it on Cal. And
True.
I'll back him up on that. Yeah, it was
just
all
keep
Cal.
deferring it. Just defer it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, when in doubt, blame Cal. That's my motto.
Yeah. Yeah. When Cal soon. Perfect. Ed leaves us with this question. When's the next live Hive meetup happening in North America?
In North America, I don't know. The next
I don't
live
think they're
meetup
coming
will
back.
be Hive Fest, and who knows when that'll be. I guess about a
That'll
year.
be in Europe. I guarantee
Yeah.
it'll be in Europe.
Europe or maybe Asia. I'm hoping, and you really should wait for a bull market. And if we are at the onset of a bull, I think it would be a good idea to have Leo Fest
Yes.
in either probably Florida or
Vegas.
Chicago.
Chicago.
And the reason why Chicago, well, Cal's from there, and he has some contacts there, and he can get a lot of stuff there.
They got good food in Chicago.
Yeah, good food in Miami too.
Pretty sure.
But
any of just died, or it's my stream.
No, it's still going live.
Please hold.
Still counting.
Oh, it's probably my. I'm getting notices that it always happens right as soon as we're going fine until the end, and then it starts like the gremlins in the system. Just they want us to. They don't like us. Task. They're hating on us. Look at you with the Mets cup. God bless you. There you go.
It was free.
Let's go Mets.
I went to a spring training game and they gave me a cup.
That's
I'm hoping Leo has a Leo Fest or something in the United States over the some point next year, and that I think that'll be open to basically anybody. That'll be like a pseudo high fest because
Yeah, I'd love that.
I know I'll go invite everybody, even if they've never been on In Leo. It's like, come on, you know.
Yep.
Can you spell threads? Yeah. Can you spell Leo?
Can,
Yeah. Okay, you're in.
can you
Good. You're up,
spell
Leo.
hive even? Like, you know, like
Screw
yeah,
high. Can you spell
you're good.
Leo?
Yeah,
Leo,
Leo.
three
Yeah.
letters. Leo.
Yeah.
I'll give you the L and the O. You only have to fill in the E. Yeah. So I think hopefully that comes to pass. I think that's ultimately what needs to happen. I mean, High Fest is a pretty cool thing, but I think needs to get to the point where the different apps start to do their own thing, kind of like Splinterlands did.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. I think that's when you know things are going really well, when, just like you said, all the apps start doing their own little offline events. And it doesn't have to be grandiose. It doesn't have to be at a 4-star hotel. Heck, this is what me and Richard Taylor used to do back in the day with our internet marketing stuff. We'd literally tell people we're going to be at this hotel, and we'd rent out a little room in the hotel, and sometimes there was 25 guys and gals there. We didn't care. We had a blast. And take it by the bull by the horns, folks. If someone wants to set up some live events offline, I will come.
So we're probably going to do it in Orlando, the Red Roof Inn,
It's fine with me.
just off International Drive. We're not even on International Drive. We'll go on the shoestring budget.
Perfect.
You know, if you're into coke or hookers, I mean, you know,
Perfect.
they'll be local, so you don't have to travel too far. You know, see, Orlando has some seedy neighborhoods, brother. I'll tell you
Oh
what.
man, yeah,
Orlando pretty much is a shithole.
it's
For
a
those who
special
don't know,
place. Yeah.
everybody thinks, oh, Disney, and Disney's like 10
Yeah,
miles
that's away from
out.
the city. They put it
Yeah,
out in
and
the
it's nice
swamp,
out there.
away from it.
Disney keeps it
Yeah.
all immaculate. You get into Orlando itself, man, that's a garbage dump in many areas.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming and hanging out with us. Be good to each other. We'll see you on the blockchain and next week for more Maniacs. Have a good weekend, guys.
Ciao.